good area. I'm sorry, it says cops.
Look.
And then there's
Guys, look, a drone. You see that?
Yeah, it's nothing new in this area. They've been flying them around for a little while to try to find people doing stupid things. Because you put an infrared camera on it and find out where people are growing stuff. And as long as the town can get there, they can demolish them from more than 6 plants or 12, depending on how many people are there.
Yeah.
Please join us in singing My Country 'Tis of Thee.
It's like on my head. He has this thing like on my head.
You're a good phone rest.
I guess
25
so.
years ago, I met Phil Rushworth, who was our 375th anniversary steering committee chairman. Back then, I played a similar role for the 350th, and he was a high school teenager who was volunteering his time at the local cable access station, the Forerunner, the RCTV. He and his friends worked long hours to make sure that every part of that celebration, every aspect of that celebration was recorded, and not just for television, but for posterity. I'm sure his homework suffered, and I'll bet he missed a few classes, but when it was all over, he said he'd do it all again. In fact, that's exactly what he asked me. When can we do this all again? And I said, whenever you're ready to take it on. And here we are. In addition to Phil and myself, we have a very strong steering committee. There are 5 other members who've worked for 4 years or so on this project. I'd like to introduce them. Katie Robertson is our clerk. Ace Folds is the treasurer. And our at-large members are Amanda Folds, Sarah Bukalakio, and Joanne Borowski. Our select board liaison has been Andy Friedman, and our town clerk, Marge M, has been an early supporter in our connection to Town Hall. When we began planning this celebration, we knew we needed something special for the opening ceremonies. While we were thinking of it, 3 very well-known Readingites, 3 siblings in fact, came to us and said, we can handle that for you. I'm sure you know all of their names. There's James Bonazzoli, Paula Perry, and Sheila Mulroy. addition to them, of course, in addition to that trio, tonight we've had all kinds of help from the Reading Police Department, the DPW, the facilities, and the RMLD. Over the next 2 weeks, we have plenty of events, and each one of them comes with its own subcommittee and its own list of volunteers. I'm sure that you're going to be meeting them and you're going to be partying with them. We also teamed up with many of the cultural institutions in town, and there are a lot of them. The Reading Symphony Orchestra, the Reading Community Singers, which is also having its own anniversary this year, the centennial. The Reading Public Library, 150 years old this year. The Council on Aging, the Friends of Parker Tavern, Antiquarian Society, the Chamber of Commerce, the Lions Club, the Reading Community Concert Band, Friends of Reading Recreation, Quantipound Players, and the Colonial Chorus. We also had many corporations, companies step forward to help us out financially. We have two primary sponsors. First one, Reading Cooperative Bank. In addition to their financial support, they also have supplied us with volunteers. They've supplied us with bottled water at many of our events. They created an app, a scavenger hunt app that went live today. I hope you're all going to download it.
I'm already beating you, Mike.
Goose Chase, and the name of the game is Rolling Reading.
On the game.
The other is the
Beating you.
RCTV.
Yeah, what
Studio.
game?
In addition
The
to
game
their
you said you were gonna win.
financial support, and also in addition to their
Oh, no.
covering these events,
That already
posterity, they also gave us very valuable meeting space and fundraising space. They've been our storefront, and quite frankly, our home base. Several other corporations have also stepped up, and you'll see their names in the program and up on the Jumbotron throughout the night. I hope you take note of it, and I hope you thank them. Town of Reading has always felt it important to mark its milestone anniversary in a big way. That started back in 1844, the 200th anniversary. That and every subsequent anniversary has been unique, a product of its own time. But they've also been, they had one thing in common. They've had the full support of the town. Just look at the sea of purple out here. Well, tonight, as Reading 375 takes its place among a pantheon of Reading celebrations, with a nod to the past, the present, and the future, the steering committee is now pleased to turn this celebration over to the townspeople, our neighbors, our friends, and our family. Happy 375th, everyone.
Well blessed.
That's boring.
Hmm?
That's boring.
1844, that first celebration.
Looks so much better than the book that was part this year.
29, as church bells in all parishes rang out. Flags were flying and the roads were filled with citizens making their way to the meeting house on Union Street. At 10 a.m., a procession led by Daniel Pratt passed under a banner on the common stretched between two elms that read 1844 Bicentennial. At the field of Reverend Peter Sanborn, before a crowd of 4,000 strong, there was poetry, speeches, and music. Surviving veterans of the American Revolution were honored. Afterward, they marched back to the hall for dinner. The head of the celebration, Caleb Wakefield, toasted his committee and also toasted the 300th Anniversary Committee, whose work was still a century into the future. It didn't take a century to celebrate again, though. In 1894, with North Reading, now a separate town, and South Reading, renamed Wakefield, the communities joined together to mark the 250th. Again, May 29th was Reading's Day in the Sun, although this time only figuratively. A bonfire late the previous evening on Bear Hill signaled the start. The town was festively decked out with murals from history on the sides of many of the town's structures. The bank building was adorned in purple felt bunting with the motto 250th Anniversary 1644-1894. Then the rains came. Governor Greenhalgh arrived on the 10:15 train to take part in the parade, but it was postponed because of the bad weather. Walter Parker, president of the celebration, quickly made alternate plans. He arranged for use of the Old South Church for indoor celebrations. He printed flyers advertising the change and had them distributed all over town. Meanwhile, bands arriving for the parade found shelter throughout the square and held impromptu concerts. At the church, Parker introduced the governor and apologized that the town could not afford him a royal welcome. The governor responded by saying, "I have not missed the welcome I would have received under sunny skies. Newer communities might not be able to adapt, but Reading is undaunted by the weather. This is not a commonwealth ruled only on sunny days." As if on cue, the skies cleared and the revelry moved outside. The 300th anniversary in 1944 was held in a different atmosphere, one in the grips of a world war. As time grew near, the propriety of celebrating in the midst of an international conflict was questioned, and the minds and spirits of the townspeople were elsewhere. A decision was made, however, to continue with an observance that was both subdued and dignified. In the words of Edward Parker, the chairman of the committee, it was a reminder of the good traditions of the town we all love, with the thought that inspiration may be gained to enable us and our successors to preserve its good name. In 1994, all the stops were pulled. Reading came together for 13 days of celebration. There were opening ceremonies complete with illumination, bells, and cannon fire. A concert, school events, a grand ball, scavenger hunt, a parade, jubilee which saw revelers partying throughout the square well into an evening. There were trolley tours and lectures culminating on Reading Day, June 10th, with music and fireworks. Community spirit was at its peak as townspeople decked out in celebration purple, a reflection of that long-ago observance of a century earlier, came together. Each evening, they eagerly awaited the next day's surprises. There was a strong feeling as the last of the fireworks burned out that we should not wait another 50 years for that intense feeling of community spirit to return. Tonight, as we celebrate together, we are all writing the next chapter of our town's story. Welcome to Reading 375.
Tax dollars at work. Tax dollars at work.
Next up is the lighting of the trees. Now, admittedly, it's not going to look great for another hour or so. We're going to do it now anyway so we can all get partying. So we're going to count down with this gadget here. It should say Acme, but it doesn't. So can we grab the steering committee up here, and we will count down from 3.
No, that's so stupid. No, no.
Okay, we begin. Everybody with us? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, you got covered.
Well, that concludes the first part of the celebration tonight, but it goes on all through the square. We've got venues all through town, and we've got Music Street playing right out in front of the town hall. Happy 375th, everyone.
Everybody takes it.
I remember when the 350s they had white lights on. The clock wasn't there once so I hope people actually go over and
What is contra dancing?
around like square dancing.
Alright, yeah. Oh, she knows what she's doing. There we go. That was pretty awesome, actually.
Ah, you look like a confetti person.
Excellent.